Good afternoon. This is Dave Rogie. I'm here this afternoon at the Lady Goat softball field here at the new baseball complex, and I'm with Coach Megan Parry and also with Julia Hurlebine, one of the junior members of the team. Ladies, thank you very much for taking time for me.
Thank you.
I know the other day we talked, and for some reason things didn't work out just right with the video, so I am back here to get us a second chance at this. And Coach, let's start with you. Megan, you are a teacher here in the school system, and this is now your second year with the ball club. Tell us a little bit about you. Who is Megan?
Okay, so I teach second grade over at Mo. I played softball growing up. I was a pitcher, so I work a lot with our pitchers here, working on technique and making sure they're doing their best. Married, one child on the way, and that's about me.
So, where'd you go to school?
I went to Snohomish High School.
Okay, and college you went to?
I went to Central.
Central Washington. Okay, very good. So, been around the central part of the state, so all this heat and beautiful weather is nothing. You're not a stranger.
No, I love it. That's why I live here.
Yeah. The wind that blows can sometimes be a challenge, though. Also on my left here, I have Julia Hurlebine, and Julia is a junior in high school this year, Chelan High School, and has been playing softball now. This is her third year with the school, but also plays club ball. And when we talked on Saturday, you guys had just come away from two difficult, or a doubleheader, two difficult games to Nooksack Valley. The first one, you guys, I think it was 12-2, I believe you said, or 10-2. I can't remember. 12-1. Excuse me. Well, we're dancing all around it. But the second game, you guys actually going into the seventh were up by a couple of runs. And in the top of the seventh, they just kind of got a little rally going on you and picked up 3 or 4 runs and gave them that 12-10 victory. And that one had to taste kind of bitter, I would think. So tell me a little bit about Saturday. Tell me a little bit about Julia Hurlebine first. Let's talk about who you are. Let's let the community know.
I am a junior, and my primary position is catcher on this team. Otherwise, I used to pitch, and I still pitch on my club team a little bit, but I mainly catch, and I used to play center field too. Anything else about me? I also used to play volleyball, and and about Saturday, about me.
Let's just talk now a little bit about the season so far.
Oh, okay.
You guys going into Saturday, I think we're 4-4. Then you lost a couple of games, so that kind of puts you below the 500. But as coaches said, and I think probably the girls would share some of that some of that feeling, where you want to start gelling and winning is coming up into this week, because you start the CTL this week. And I believe you have, Kashmir coming up first?
Tomorrow.
Okay, tell us a little bit about the season up to now, Julia, and kind of how are the girls feeling about pushing it on through now through the CTL?
Well, I guess what we call our pre-league season. We were 4-6 for pre-league season, so I think we're progressing. I think we're definitely progressing offensive-wise. I think we are. Defense, we are still working very hard at it. We have just made a few errors that we shouldn't have made, but we're all going to work more as a team and just keep practicing hard for the league season where it matters the most, especially for tomorrow. So I think we learned what we need to work on. So I think that's what's most important. We learned what we need to work on and what our weaknesses are for the league season.
Sure.
And what to get better at.
Now, Coach, if I can, obviously, Coach Barker has mentioned this as well to me at times, that things just kind of got a lot of youth, a lot of young gals on the team. Some of them, maybe even this being their first real competitive softball. So talk to us a little bit about that and a little bit about perhaps maybe what the coaching staff has had to do to kind of get them into the whole game of softball.
Sure. So what we're really working on a lot this year is teaching our players how to know the game. So a lot of players come in and they have raw skills and they're very athletic, but they don't know necessarily the mental part of the game. So what you're supposed to look for in a pitcher and how you play the field, and a lot of things have to do with when we field the ball, where do we go with it. So we're really working on that with them and kind of making it a multi-step game where you don't just do one step at a time. You're really observing everything that's going on and taking it in to be the best player you can.
Great. And do you feel like they're now starting to come together a little bit? I mean, we talked a little. You touched on errors, or Julia touched on errors over the weekend. Kind of where are we in that growth place? And as we start sliding into the what really counts league, if you will, where are you guys in terms of your feeling of where you wanted to be versus maybe where you are?
Oh, okay. Well, we're just learning a lot. I think it's important that we have a really good group of girls who just have a lot of fun together, and they really encourage each other most of the time, so that's really nice to see. And we are coming together with that mental part of the game that's so important. So last year, we really peaked at the end of the season. We're hoping for that again. We're about halfway through now, so really looking forward to what's to come and applying what we've learned.
But now, from here on out, it's pretty much, I mean, as I heard Coach say when they were warming up and they were working out on the diamond out there, I heard him say something about, we're 0-0. We're 0-0 now, guys. Tomorrow we want to go 1-0.
Right.
Is that kind of a general feeling for everybody?
Yeah.
Is there an anxiousness about it? Or is that just kind of, this is the way we're going to tackle it and make it happen?
I think we're definitely seeing it as kind of a fresh start. We played some challenging teams that have a lot of experience and who get to play in leagues that are much more difficult than ours. So this is really the time when we need to show what we have and really work towards being a team and play offensively and defensively and really clean up those errors. That'll help us a lot.
Now, with the youth that you have so far on the team, and you're working with pitchers, are these new and young pitchers? Are these girls that are a little more seasoned and maybe they're just trying to kind of help their game a little bit? Where is that in the where does that fit in?
Yeah. So we've got a couple of pitchers who have pitched for a while, and then we've got a couple of newer pitchers. It's hard sometimes when you don't work the whole year round and you kind of come into season and need to kind of rekindle that fire and remember what you learned last year. So that's something that I think now we've been at the season and been working for a couple of months where they're kind of getting back what they had before. So yeah, definitely kind of all over the board with pitching and trying to use everybody to their own advantages.
Sure. Well, it sounds like you've got a lot going on, a lot coming together. Julie, a couple more questions for you, dear, and then I'll let you guys get back to what you're doing. I guess as the catcher, you get to be the field general, if you will. So much can happen from that person, calling positions on the field, telling people where to stand. How do you remember all that stuff?
Okay, in the beginning, I felt a little pressure. I was a little bit hesitant on where to call it, but it's better that infield, if the ball's just in the infield, it's pretty natural for me to just yell one, or it's important for me and every infield player, everyone to look at the runners before and know what the outs are too. So you always have to kind of just refresh more than knowing everything at once. You kind of have to refresh on that situation. You just have to know every possible hit that could happen, I guess. If it goes in the outfield, where should I say cut, or where could the runners go? So I just every pitch, right before every pitch, I have to rethink on where I'm gonna tell.
Sure.
Every situation's different, basically. So
when you are doing that, do you find that over the season, as you play some of these girls a second and a third time, do you find that you become familiar enough with the way they bat, or something that you can, let's say for instance, it's a left-handed hitter, and she normally sprays it out into left center or something. That's what she likes to try to do. Do you become familiar enough with these players that you can go to, say, call out and tell the left fielder to move closer to center, or vice versa, so that they kind of close that gap a little bit in order to prevent that person from putting that ball through there? Or is that more a coach's responsibility?
I mean, I can always say something, and yet it always depends on the pitcher too. Because sometimes we switch out pitchers during innings, so that could totally change where the batter hits it too. Or I mean, it may not, but it can vary pitcher too. And I have to probably go through the line up once with the team to be familiar with them. Like if they're a home run hitter, then yeah, I'll say something. But usually the coaches tell them, and then like if it's windy, the coaches usually, like when I used to play outfield, they would always tell me like to scoot in or to back up. So that's usually the coaches.
Last thing, and then I'll let you guys get going because it looks like you're wrapping up. But when you guys are in the game, and you're an upperclassman, you may not, I don't know if you're a captain or not, but being an upperclassman, so often, especially when you have younger players, they get kind of the emotions start to get to them because they feel like they're not all doing their job or whatever. You have to kind of jump in there and be a leader at times on the team. What kinds of things does Julia Hurlebine do for those players who are maybe struggling a little bit emotionally or just even mentally not into the game? What kinds of things can you do or do you do to kind of give that jolt they need to kind of help get them into it?
Well, usually on my position, like as a catcher, if the pitcher is just like not mentally in it or they're struggling, I just usually I talk to them and tell them to just relax. Usually they're just like stressed out or they've got butterflies. I don't usually. So if somebody has a bad attitude, I'm not a captain, but if somebody's just like if somebody has a bad attitude on the field, I'd want to say something. Like I'd want to tell them to appreciate every chance you get out on the field because you don't know when your last game is, you know. So I
Absolutely.
just tell them to make the most out of it. And it doesn't matter how old you are or like on the team. Like you're there, you're that specific position for a reason. So
you're a part of that team, and everybody has to do their job to make it fit, don't they, to make it work. Well, ladies, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. I'm sure we'll get a chance to talk again as we move along and start getting closer to that time to look towards maybe some postseason play, and who knows, maybe even another trip to Yakima. So best of luck to you going into the CTL. We'll be here watching when we can, but we certainly want to wish you the very best of luck. And Julia, good luck to you as a player. Hope you have a good full season the way you would like to set for yourself goals. And Coach, welcome aboard, even though it's a second year, and hopefully you'll be with us for some time and can help to bring these girls along and watch this program get back to where it was at one time. We had a very good program. It's still very good. I don't mean to, but there was a time when people really feared Chelan and its ladies softball program, and I think the goal for all of these girls is to see that happen again.
Got a lot of potential.
And that's pretty exciting. So best of luck to both of you and to the rest of the team this year. This is Dave Rogie for the Lake Chelan Sports Blog. I'm here with Coach Parry and Julia Hurlebine of the Lady Fast Pitch Softball team. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.